Okay, so somebody wrote a question about the teaching yesterday, and she said it becomes clear how the projection, she's quoting me, that it becomes clear how the projection of benefit and happiness is really pasted on top of the object by our mind. Remember when I was talking about how attachment comes about? Then her question is, now what does one do with this recognition? For example, if our kitty Manjushri were to recognize that he was projecting happiness and benefit on the catnip, what then? What does he do with this recognition? Well, let's say Manjushri has, Manjushri, the kitty, has human intelligence, okay? And he realizes that he has a problem with his addiction to catnip, you know, that he's rolling in the catnip box all day. When he has to go somewhere else, you know, he's craving to be in the catnip box. All of his thoughts are, you know, or a great number of his thoughts are dealing with, you know, keeping a chala out of the catnip box so that he can have it, and, you know, some fear coming in that, you know, what happens when the catnip gets stale and it doesn't smell anymore, and will I get some more? And, you know, maybe the box gets tipped over and these human beings take it away from me. And, you know, because this is what happens when we're attached to something. There's a lot of fear and anxiety involved about losing it. That's if we have it. And of course, if we don't have it, then there's fear and anxiety of not getting it. And then we create a lot of negative karma in trying to, you know, rearrange the environment and everybody in it to give us what we want, our own personal version of catnip. Okay? So when you realize that the catnip, that the goodness in the catnip is projected by your own mind, and that there is not inherent intrinsic happiness in it, yeah, when you really get that, not just up here, but in here, then the attachment to the catnip goes down, because you realize that there's nothing there from the object side to hang on to, that there's nothing inherently attractive, inherently pleasurable in the object, you know, that it's completely coming from your mind, yeah, and so it's a totally false projection. Okay, it's like anything, you know, if we believe something, you know, we'll do all sorts of stuff because of that. But when we realize that our belief is incorrect, then we stop doing that. Or if we, you know, have a visual perception that's incorrect, if you think that there's a snake when there's a rope, you know, you really freak out. As soon as you realize that your perception is incorrect, then you stop freaking out. So in Manjushri's case, all his obsession with the catnip, you know, would decrease. He wouldn't have so much anxiety, you know, he'd be able to sleep better. As if our cats need any help sleeping. But, you know, that all that anxiety, that fear would go away. You know, in the case of us human beings, we would stop doing so many negative things in order to get the stuff we're attached to. You know, we wouldn't have so much fear of losing it, so much possessiveness when we have it. Our mind would generally just be more relaxed. And we could still, you know, if the catnip, you know, makes it, you know, is nice, then you use it. But there's absolutely no attachment to it. You don't need it and obsess about it. Okay? So that's what happens next. Yeah?
Another question, but I was just thinking about when you're around other people who help you exaggerate it, because they keep saying, oh, your partner's so wonderful, you know, these are places so great, and it just is more sticky.
Right.
It's not just your own mind.
Right.
And
okay.
they're also ignoring all the negative stuff that goes with it, or they don't know.
Right. Yeah. So you're saying that when your friends around you reinforce your projection. Saying, oh yeah, your partner is really so wonderful. That dessert place is really so good. Oh, it'd be so fantastic if you really, got appointed to such and such a position, or got your name in the newspaper, or were on TV. Then that person just feeds the incorrect projection and the attachment. And so that's why in the Dharma, when the Buddha emphasizes the importance of having good friends and staying away from bad friends. We have to really look at what good friends and bad friends are. Because from a Buddhist viewpoint, somebody who encourages us in our unhealthy attachments is not a good friend. And somebody who wants to help us break those unhealthy attachments and those addictions is a good friend. Okay. But we usually in the world see it the opposite way. The person who wants to help us is our enemy, and the person who indulges all of our attachments is our friend. And that's indicative of the confusion we have.